Nothing is harder on a Saturday evening than watching a romance anime that reminds you how lonely you are. I recently started to watch seasonal anime again and noticed that a majority of them are romance anime. And for those who don't know, romance is probably one of my favorite anime genres. And since I have a YouTube channel, I've decided to talk about the romance anime that I've been watching in the spring season of 2026. So without further ado, here we go. I want to start off with I made friends with the second prettiest girl in class. This anime is about Maya Haramaki and how he struggles making friends, but everything changes in his first year of high school when he gets in a class with Amami Yu and her best friend Asanagi Umi. Yu is considered the prettiest girl in her grade, has a lot of talents, and can literally get along with anyone. And I mean literally everyone. She has no enemies in the show. But Yu is not the female lead. As the title already suggests, this story is about the second prettiest girl in class, and that would be Umi. So basically doing self-introduction in class, Umi finds out that Maki's and her interests kinda align, and since she doesn't really know anyone else with her interests, she tries to get closer to him. I actually read a bit of the manga quite some time ago and was already hooked on the story back then. What makes this anime special is that the main couple doesn't beat around the bush. The author did not try to stretch the story out as long as possible, but gets to the point, unlike some other mangas. Rent a girlfriend. Next up is Girls Can't Be Kind to Otaku, also known as Otaku. Before I start talking about what this anime is about, I want to mention that its opening is a banger. I might as well say that it's better than every other anime opening from this season, with the sole exception of ReZero, of course. It's one of the rare cases where the opening is made by a K-pop group, and in this case, the opening is called Hide and Seek by Idol. Now let's get back to the summary of Otaku. It might have a simple premise that we've seen plenty of times, but it is being delivered in a refreshing way. Girls Can Be Kind to Otaku is about an otaku called Takuya Seo and how he befriends two girls named Amame Kei and Kotoko Ijichi. Takuya is a fan of Kiraemon, a magical girl anime that is popular among children, and he always keeps to himself. One day Ijichi and Amane, who are best friends, interact with Takuya, and this one interaction was all it took. Our male MC figures out that Amane is also secretly a Kiraemon fan, and Ijichi, being Amane's best friend, is ready to listen to Takuya's and Amane's recommendations, and this marks the beginning of their wonderful relationship. I first stumbled upon this anime when its first trailer released and really liked its premise and art style. I'm a very impatient person, so I could wait for the anime release and just read the manga. It might be generic following the popular girl falls in love with loner boy trope, but I believe that it's still worth watching. The Klutzy class monitor and a girl with a short skirt. When I first watched the trailer, I wasn't really interested. It just looked like every other romance anime and there wasn't anything to hook me in. Nevertheless, I gave this anime a chance, since I'm a sucker for romance anime, and it actually pleasantly surprised me. The Klutzy class monitor and a girl with short skirt, I'll just call it Klutzy class monitor, is about a Klutzy class monitor called Sakura Diamond Togo who takes his job very serious, and Kohinata Poem, a girl whose skirt is too short. Huh, who would have thought that the title would be the description of the anime? Since Poem's dressing clashes with Todo's view of proper student appearance, it often comes to disagreements, which makes them get to know each other. What I like about this anime is that although Togo is very dense, he always compliments Poem and is never too shy to show his emotions. Another strong point would be the side characters. The anime doesn't fully rely on the main couple, but also on the school's administrative forces, Poem friends, and the main lead's families. I know I say this often, but I like the art style and the character interactions. What I also really like is that Poem is a fan of magical girls and that the opening is magical girl themed. I want to end this love game. If you're a fan of Kaguya-sama Love is War, this anime is for you. I Want to End This Love Game is about childhood friends Yukiya Asagi and Miku Sakura. The main lead started this love game where they try to make the other person's heart skip a beat when they were younger. Now that they're high schoolers and have both clearly fallen for each other, the goal of just getting a reaction out of the other changed into making the other party see them as a love interest. Given that this anime is about a love game, there's a lot of teasing and both of the protagonists clearly get shaken by it. Since I love Kaguya-sama Love is War and this anime has a similar premise, I gave it a chance. But the question I asked myself was how long this love game can be dragged out. In Kaguya-sama, the comedy aspect helped the viewer sit through the whole ordeal tremendously. But I Want to End This Love Game is missing that comedy, so only watching it will answer my question. What I don't really like about this anime though is its random CGI scenes, which sometimes just destroy entire moments for me. A little fun fact I want to add is that Miko's voice actor is also named Miku and voices Miku from Quintessential Quintuplets. Until now I've only talked about romance anime that are set in high school, but this anime is different. MarriageToxin is an action romance anime made by Studio Bones. For those who don't know about Studio Bones, they have made popular anime like My Hero Academia, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Mob Psycho 100, etc. MarriageToxin is about Gero Hikaru, an assassin whose family is one of the 5 most powerful assassin families. The story starts with Gero's grandmother requesting an heir from her grandchildren. Gero doesn't want to push that pressure on his younger sister, since his sister is a lesbian and has a girlfriend. Gero takes it upon himself to fulfill their grandmother's wishes, but although Gero is a splendid assassin, he has 0 social skills. During a mission he meets a marriage swindler called Mei Kinosaki. He saves her alive and asks him to help find him a suitable partner, and now both of them are on a mission to find Gero a wife. You probably think that Gero will end up with Mei at the end of the story, but watching the first episode will make you realize that this outcome is pretty unrealistic. It's not 0, but very unlikely to happen. When I started the manga, I was instantly hooked. I really liked the characters and the progression of the story. I'm sure that leaving the story to Studio Bones was a very good decision. These are the romance anime that I watched from the 2026 spring season. I hope I could convince you to give at least one of them a chance. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, peace out.